Welcome in to another live edition of The Meltdown, as the latest Megalopolis trailer has dropped, and creator Francis Ford Coppola, who was behind the Godfather trilogy and Apocalypse Now, among several other projects, has called Megalopolis the best work he's ever had the privilege to preside over. Amazon MGM held a huge presentation today in New York and dropped a ton of news about their future film and streaming television plans, and Lunce's list profiles the 5 upcoming pieces of superhero cinema that John is anticipating the most. It's all happening right here on this lovely little production that we call The Meltdown, broadcasting live thanks to MyBookie from the Culver studio.
2 big balls in a tiny studio, teaching you and me about everything they know that makes sound a meltdown. It's the meltdown. Time for the meltdown. Coming for the meltdown. Let's start the show.
And welcome into Meltdownopolis, as we are here with you today live on this Tuesday, reacting to all the latest in film, television, pop culture, music, entertainment, news, daily, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. Thank you for making us a part of your daily routine. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We also appreciate all those thumbs that go way up during the YouTube live stream for sure. I am your host here on The Meltdown, Tim Melton. Joining me, my co-host, Mr. John Lunsford, who finds himself a little bit more each and every day. John, thank you for being here, man.
We all should find ourselves a little more each day.
We certainly should. And I am all about that. There's going to be a lot of people having options to find content here soon. It's been announced that Comcast, later this month, will launch a 3-way bundle with Peacock, Netflix, and Apple TV Plus offered at a deep discount.
We're so close to getting back to cable.
Comcast chief Brian Roberts says the bundle will be available to all Comcast broadband and TV customers, and although he didn't reveal any pricing details, he said that the goal is to, quote, add value to consumers, and at the same time, quote, take some of the dollars out of other companies' streaming businesses, while reinforcing Comcast broadband service offerings. The cheapest way to get all 3 streamers separately today is with the ad-supported Peacock Premium, which is $5.99 a month, which goes up to $7.99 a month in July, Netflix Basic with ads, which costs $6.99 a month, and the standard Apple TV Plus plan at $9.99 a month. Peacock Premium Plus, which is mostly ad-free, is going up by $2 to $13.99 per month. The new prices will be effective starting July 18th for new Peacock customers and for existing subscribers with their next billing date on or after August 17th. What do you think of all these bundles? Last week, we had it announced from Disney that they were teaming up with Warner Brothers Discovery to have Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max bundled together beginning sometime this summer. However, additional details regarding the actual bundle offer of what it will be and when it will be happening is to come. What do you make of all of these streaming services deciding to basically pick kickball teams and try to bundle all of their services for one low price?
You know, with cable, you have channels like ESPN, and you have like Fox Sports 1, and you have all these different ones, but you can just pay, one fee and get like all of them bundled together on different channels. So what if we took all of the streaming services and somebody came in and like a Spectrum or like a Comcast or AT&T or somebody came in and said, hey, we're going to give you all of these streaming platforms for like $100 a month.
That's actually a
good
idea.
You get every streaming platform out there, and all you do is just scroll down the channels, and you can get every streaming platform.
So you're
Can I
saying
still pay you like a service fee?
Yeah, there'll be some service fees,
Okay.
but not too bad, not too bad. We'll
We'll
put you on contract for 2 years, and it'll be cheaper, and then it'll go up after that. But then we'll call you, and we'll annoy you, make it new contracts. Basically, we want you to sign every time.
Disney and Hulu are already bundled.
And are owned by the same company.
So adding in Max is nice, but I think it's going to be tough to beat that other group, especially if you're a Comcast customer with Peacock, Netflix, and Apple TV Plus all bundled in together.
Max is the single best streaming service to me.
Because Max also absorbed Discovery Plus.
Correct. Especially, I would have said it probably before that, but especially now. From their original offerings and what they have brought in. And then Hulu, I probably would take next only because you get live TV in there, like day late live TV, which sounds weird, I know, but like I probably would have taken that next. So I feel like those two coming together, and then with Disney Plus, you get everything Disney, obviously, and now 20th Century Fox and all that coming in too, to where ultimately I think that's still the better bundle. But we're not far, I guarantee you, away from them coming together and saying, well, what if we just did like all of this and we all can win from this? That's what they're eventually going to do.
Well,
Yeah, right now Paramount Plus is riding the bench. It didn't get picked for either team.
Yeah.
not yet, but who knows who's going to end up owning Paramount soon, and Paramount Plus is probably going to be a part of that distribution plan with that infrastructure that's being created. One bundle that I approve of is that of Dr. Jeff and Dr. Brian. They take
It's a good bundle.
their jobs very seriously, and I love taking a trip over to Grants Mill Road and to visit Alabama Dental Associates. I'm always thrilled to visit the professional dental team that they've bundled together, knowing I am taking care of myself the best way that I possibly can. I spent years looking for that perfect dentist. I went on that journey, and I was unable to find them until I got to Dr. Jeff and Dr. Brian there. With Alabama Dental Associates, I have found the solution, and I'm so happy to share it with you daily here on The Meltdown. They have not only had all the latest advancements in dental healthcare technology brought into their practice, but they also have the friendliest staff in town. If you're ready to find that perfect dental team, reach out and try Alabama Dental Associates for yourself. They can help you feel at ease about all of your dental procedures. For more information or to make an appointment, call them at 205-956-8977 or visit alabamadental.com as they look forward to seeing you. We have a busy week here on The Meltdown. Tomorrow, another edition of Meltdown Triple Threat Trivia, which will include Jim Dunaway making his debut not only here on the show, but also in the trivia arena. John, any helpful advice as a weathered competitor yourself of what rookie Jim Dunaway can do in trivia tomorrow to be successful?
So, fun fact, I meant to mention this yesterday. Over the weekend, I got bored and I went through and watched every triple threat trivia we have done, and I kept stats on every single one that we have done.
Oh my God.
Make a spreadsheet.
I have a whole spreadsheet with every single competitor, and I have their answer rate, how good they are at answering questions, their pass rate, their wheel screwedness rate,
Their understanding of the rules rate.
all kinds of stuff.
Are you going to share this information publicly?
Yeah, I'll share it all out there. I'm just saying what I gathered from it is
You're the best.
don't land on the wheel
Okay.
and answer your questions right.
That is the second part.
Answer your questions
Okay.
right.
Okay.
I know that sounds real dumb. Answer your questions right, but Spud, obviously, the most successful person.
So you don't look at the wheel as a wheel of opportunity?
No, because even when you get, the 10-point question, it's much harder than a 3-point question would be. Therefore, everybody that has landed on that has walked away with 0 points as opposed for the opportunity to get 3. There's chances to get screwed out of it multiple times. The ultimate winner has landed on the bet on the other person thing. And basically, if I bet on Rocky to get the question wrong, Rocky gets the question wrong, I get the points I've bet on him to where I can earn 5 points and Rocky can lose 3 on something. There's just certain things. And I will say, if you had to guess who has landed on the wheel by far the most times,
You.
me. And it's not even remotely close.
You've also played in the most competitions, I think.
I average 2 wheels per game.
Wow.
And nothing else is even remotely close at that point. The most successful passer, by the way, also me. I am 10-1 in
Any
passing
stats
questions.
about anybody else?
Yeah.
Just
I am
you?
10-1 in passing question. The most successful answerer, when they just take the question and answer it, is obviously Spud. He is 8-1 when he just takes the question and answers it. However, he is the worst at accepting passes of anybody. He's like 2-6.
Wow.
I think
when
that one
taking
can be
passes.
explained. We hear a modern category and pass it to Spud,
Yeah.
Well, that's
and then
true,
now
but I
I
mean-
think literature gets passed to Spud because we know Harry Potter's in there.
I mean,
And apparently Charlotte's Web is a real
Charlotte's
stumper,
Web
too.
got him real bad. He's like, that's not literature. It's like, what are you
now,
talking about?
are you correct? Yes, you're correct. It's,
What was
it's
the Charlotte's Web question?
What was the name of the pig in Charlotte's Web?
Wilbur.
Yeah, he said
he said babe.
He said babe. but then got angry, started to argue that Charlotte's Web shouldn't be under a category
He's
called
argued
literature.
that both Harry Potter and Charlotte's Web should not be considered literature. And it's like, how is that possible? Now, we do find times to take advantage of him. However, that's still trivia. Anytime you go in trivia, it could be new trivia, it could be old trivia. The biggest win difference was me winning by 14 points in the number one contenders match. The closest win was EG winning by 1 point over Spud, and the one that Spud basically gave her the win. The most points ever scored was Ush with 14. The lowest points ever scored was EG with -9.
Woo.
The closest third place ever was Scott. He finished 4 points behind Spud. When it was me, Scott, and Spud, it was 1-0 to -3.
It's a good game.
Yeah, and I don't know. I got all kind of stats. Anything you want to know, I could tell you about the competition.
Keep that going. I assume you're going to update this with more information as we have more contests. So another one tomorrow. It's a number one contenders match. This will be one of the individuals who will be fighting Spud for the championship in a couple of weeks. The only confirmed competitor so far is Jim Dunaway. We have 2 mystery opponents that he will be facing. We cannot wait to unveil those tomorrow here on the show.
Ken Jennings.
Correct. Ken Jennings will be one. On Thursday, we'll have our first ever edition of Meltdown Arcade, where we will be still having a live show. We will still be talking about things we care about, but we'll just be happening to play some video games during the show as well. So that's happening on Thursday. We'll see how it goes. John is our arcade decider of what direction we're going. He's our curator, our
a lot of pressure
curator.
put on me to pick a game.
And I don't know if he's just holding things close to the vest or if he has no idea in which direction he wants to go on Thursday. I can't read him.
F-Zero.
I have a lot of
Can't
games
tell ya.
I want to play, but it depends on how we do it. That ultimately determines what game I pick.
We will see. Producer Tyler back here with us, excited for a very busy week on the Meltdown. It has been announced, Tyler, that Dune Part 2 will be available to stream on Max starting in 1 week on May 21st. After currently earning more than $710 million at the worldwide box office throughout this year, is this a movie you're excited to stream at home?
I might stream it a couple of times.
That's good.
I would honestly like to see it in the theaters again.
Yeah.
Good man.
Because it's still running there.
Good man. He's seen it 5 times in the theater. See, I'm the same with Oppenheimer. I went and saw it 5 times in the theater. I have yet to stream it because I enjoy it in the movie theater. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't think watching it at home could possibly compare to the feeling I had watching the sandworm scene in the Prime theater.
If only we could get Lunsford back in love with the movie theaters like we're in love with it. And then we would really be pushing
Don't
forward.
make the experience garbage, and I'll go.
Experience.
rule.
It's the best setup that you can possibly have to watch a movie.
The big screen and sound, fine. Literally every other aspect of it, the seats, the people around me, the food,
Air conditioning.
the air conditioning or lack thereof, all absolute garbage.
They could be improved. I will say that. Rockstar back in the saddle with
Yes.
us. Megalopolis is an upcoming American epic science fiction drama film written, directed, and produced by Francis Ford Coppola. He is the creative mind behind this. He is the one that's decided to come up with the money to finance this thing. He shared the latest trailer to his highly anticipated upcoming film Megalopolis today, ahead of its world premiere at the Cannes International Film Festival on May 16th, which is just a couple of days away. And he said on Instagram, quote, "Our new film, Megalopolis, is the best work I've ever had the privilege to preside over." The description says Megalopolis is a Roman epic fable set in an imagined modern America, and there's a chariot race staged for elites at Madison Square Garden, complete with attendees in full Roman Empire attire. Your thoughts on the early looks here at Megalopolis, Rockstar, and how pretentious on a scale of 1 to 10 does this film look?
Very. I looking at the trailer, it's just nonstop. Like it's one of those things where you have to just pause every 2 seconds to kind of collect yourself. Like what just happened? What did I just see? Like it just there's so much crammed in that trailer. Like Lady Justice is walking around. I don't know what's going on. Like it's just like that is a visual panic attack to me. What I witnessed on that trailer. You saying it's going to be a Roman times fable or whatever? My God, like it's just there's so much going on. I was overwhelmed.
I think we should call this film New Times Roman. I feel like we should call it that.
Yeah, italic.
You like that? No. John, what did you think of Megalopolis, the trailer? Because to me, it looks like a cologne ad mixed with Beau is Afraid.
Yeah, you feel like Johnny Depp with a
There was
guitar.
a lot of cologne ad vibes in the trailer.
That's the way it feels to me.
Way more so than Beau was Afraid. Because Beau was Afraid was garbage. This looks just intriguing enough for me to be like, okay, this is going to be 10 out of 10 or 1 out of 10 and nowhere in between. I mean,
It'll either have all the redeeming qualities it could possibly have, or it'll have no redeeming qualities whatsoever.
Too CGI heavy, at least what we see here. And I get that if it's kind of supposed to be more of a futuristic thing, you got to do that. I like the whole futuristic Roman Empire vibe of it. I like the cast that is in it. I like Adam Driver, Giancarlo Esposito. I know there's some different way I'm supposed to say his name now.
Gus Fring,
Aubrey Plaza, Shia LaBeouf randomly popping back up in this. Hadn't seen him in a while.
John Voight.
There's
Dustin Hoffman,
Jason Schwartzman. There's all kind of people that are in it, but it's like, okay, if you have all of this, and if you have the story, and if you have the CGI, you got to put all the pieces together the right way.
It's also Coppola's best thing he's ever done in his career. So he believes it.
Which
marketing strategy?
No.
Full on. He
believes that.
Number one, that's a bold statement to make when you did The Godfather. Number two, The Godfather is one of the most overrated movies of all time, in my opinion. Therefore,
Agree.
I don't really know what to think about this because I didn't like his best work to pretty much everybody else. But he's saying this is even better, and in no way does this look better than what people perceive from The Godfather. So it's hard to truly gauge my expectations for this.
But did you ever see Apocalypse Now? Because I think that one's better than Godfather.
The
honestly.
one war movie that's on my list that I have got to watch that I have not done yet.
Maybe it's in the Dune popcorn bucket. Who knows? By the way, we just did another retro trailer reaction, and it'll be up on the channel for you to consume. It is The Skeleton Key from 2005. It was Rockstar's pick, and we did a full rewatch of that this weekend and a full reaction to that trailer and to the movie itself, and it'll be up on the channel for you to enjoy after this live event. A release date for Megalopolis has not yet been announced. Coppola conceived the overall idea for the movie towards the end of filming Apocalypse Now back in the year 1977. In 1983, he initiated the writing of Megalopolis that ended up reportedly costing overtime $120 million, and it was partially financed by selling a significant portion of his wine empire. And it just feels like a Cologne ad to me. I can't get past that.
Damn it, I gave you the joke away. God, if it doesn't do well, if it doesn't do well in the theaters, it's going to be Megabompolis.
Megabompopolis, yes, it will be.
Megabompolis.
It is not. It is a big gamble. It's going to have to clear probably $500 million in order to be profitable, something like that. And it is going to be quite a mountain to climb. And it's probably going to be looked at as one of the riskiest ventures in film history.
Got to be better than his daughter's stuff lately.
Well, I would like to play a quick edition of 10 with Tim here. I've got 10 questions. We have 3 participants. Question number 1, I'd like to go to Rockstar. Rockstar, what's something that looks simple until you try it yourself?
When people do the quarter thing on their knuckles, can you do that?
Like shift the quarter around?
Yeah, go
without
from each
actually,
knuckle.
No,
go forward and backwards.
I've seen people do it with a poker chip.
Like somebody does it so. I think Mel Gibson did it in a movie. Like just watching people do it, and like I was like, that looks so cool. And if you've ever tried it, it is impossible.
You look completely ridiculous.
And like, yeah, you look. It's almost like getting on a rolling chair and scooting up. Nobody can pull that off. So I would say that looks kind of simple. Like that'd be so cool to know that trick, and then like it is so hard to do.
Tyler, other than triple threat trivia, what's something that looks simple until you try it yourself?
Man, Rocky had such a good answer there. I think I've got to go with that because I've never been able to do that.
Oh, it's the same thing? You're picking the same thing?
That does not look simple to me.
I've never
no,
been able to do that.
people make it look simple. Like it's like it's just a quarter on a knuckle. Like you're just moving your knuckles, and then you try and you're sticking your tongue out. Like it's like this is impossible.
Yeah. Really, just any sort of trick with quarters or cards or anything like that.
I should have went with Tyler first because he would have never answered that way. He would have never in a million years said that. You know the quarter thing that Mel Gibson, he would have never said that. John, what's something that looks simple until you try it yourself?
Being a functioning adult.
I like their answers better.
That's another good answer, John.
I like their answers better. Okay, question number 2.
Golf.
Okay. That's a really, really solid answer. Are we done? Question number 2.
I'm done.
Would you have any problem, John, moving into a house that featured an unsolved quadruple murder if you felt like you were getting a good deal on it?
Depends on the house.
No, you like the house. It's just it was
Yeah,
the
I'd be
scene
okay.
of a heinous quadruple murder that has gone unsolved, and the
How
butcher is still
long
out
ago?
there.
Okay, the butcher's still out there. That's a different story.
It's unsolved.
So no, but it could be unsolved from 100 years ago. They never figured it out.
No, it's not like it's
A month ago.
It's where Jack the Ripper was running around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I mean, yeah.
3 months ago.
Oh well, then no.
You would not?
It's probably still an active crime scene. No.
Well, they've just closed it and they've decided.
Oh,
You got new carpet, sorta.
Tyler, would you have any problem moving into a house that featured an unsolved quadruple murder if you felt like you were getting a good deal on it?
I feel like I could get over it.
If it had like a
Yeah.
nice man cave?
Yeah,
You'd be
if
fine with
if
that?
I was just really sold on the house, good price,
Good water
yeah, I was
pressure.
able to talk them down even more because I know about the quadruple murder, and everything
I'm-
was clean. I'll take it.
Tyler, I'm gonna miss you.
All right.
Well, I
the
mean,
latest victim.
they're not gonna go back. The people
Tyler,
there were
If
already
the
dead.
murderer's still out there, then
This is the plot to 15 different horror franchises,
Yeah.
including Amityville Horror, and you just fell into it. But good luck, sir. Rockstar.
Yes.
Would you have any problem moving into a
I don't-
house that just had a quadruple murder happen?
I don't think I would, but the only thing I don't want is if I have like people like coming to the house that want to see it, to take pictures of it, that kind of thing, like the Pizza House from Breaking Bad, like just nonstop
That's a
people
good
come to like
point.
see the crime scene. It's like, guys, this is my house. That's the only thing I'd be worried about. Like,
The
I'm
problem
not,
with living in the Home Alone house or something
Yeah.
like that, or
Yeah.
the Mrs. Doubtfire house. Is Nancy a fan of true crime series and stuff like that? Is that something she's...
yes and no. She's wishy-washy. She's been starting. She's on episode 6 of This Isn't a Mystery, but what's it called? The House of the Dragon. I got her onto that.
Oh, okay.
So she's dragging ass about watching it.
You just wanted to make that joke. It
No,
had
I just
nothing to
thought
do
that.
with the question that I
Just thought-
asked.
but I'm trying to think if she's eclectic. Her taste is eclectic. I think she can do almost anything.
Do you think Laurel would have a problem moving into a house like that, John?
oh, she would want to move into a house like that.
Okay. All right.
It's like if she would want to move in, she'd be like, you know what, we're gonna solve this. Let's move in so we can solve it.
Okay. Question number 3. What is your personal favorite song from Prince, Tyler? Personal favorite Prince song.
I like When Doves Cry.
Okay.
That's probably my favorite one.
Okay. Rockstar?
For some reason, "Let's Go Crazy" is just
That's another good
such a
one.
good song, and the way they did it on Sing 2, for some reason, a song like that was put on a kids movie. I'd have to go "Let's Go Crazy."
John?
I'm not a big Prince guy. He did 1999.
He did.
Probably that.
Okay. It sounds like you love it. Purple Rain for me.
That's a good song,
especially
too.
Probably the only other one I can name.
he's performing Purple Rain in the Rain at the Super
Yeah.
Bowl. I mean, come on. That is just good stuff. Okay. Question number 4. When was the last time, John, that you actually saw a payphone in person? When was the last time you can recall seeing a payphone in person?
Trying to think if I would have seen one like in LA when I was there a few months ago. I'm sure I saw one there. New York. I mean, I had to have been on vacation somewhere. I don't know, around here.
Okay.
I honestly don't know.
Rockstar?
I think it was at a gas station, but I don't think it was a functioning. It was just the booth, like the phone was gone. So I think that was the last time. And I could not, gun to head, I could not tell you a year. It was with probably the last 3-5 years, but random gas station.
The Yellow Page is still there.
I
for
still,
people
I
to
still
use.
use my Yellow Pages.
Tyler?
Put your fingers to the walking.
Payphone. When was the last time you saw one in person?
What is payphone?
Probably I'm not sure if it was functioning like Rocky's, but I also saw a couple random gas stations and street corners with payphone booths. Not sure if they were working though.
Normally these days, if you see a place with a payphone, it's a place you don't want to go actually
Correct.
visit. Like it lets you know.
Bill and Ted are
I don't
not
need
in
to be
there.
hanging out around here. Next question. John, have you ever used a pogo stick?
Yes, when I was a child.
Thank you for clarifying.
This isn't a confession.
It wasn't yesterday.
If I got my pogo stick now, that thing would crumble into a million pieces.
It was
No.
me who bludgeoned those 4 people in that house with a pogo stick.
I'd say the last time I probably did something like that was middle school.
I've never wanted to get on a pogo stick. That's never been something that I've wanted to do. Being a giant and being on a pogo stick, not a good combination. Tyler, have you ever been on a pogo stick?
I have not. I don't think.
We got to make that happen. We got to get Tyler
Just
on a
never
pogo
had.
stick.
That was never
There
what
goes
I
Tyler out the
gravitated-
window.
Would you get on a
gravitated toward.
pogo stick if we were to?
Yeah, I mean, if we're filming it for content, yeah, why not?
Done. Let's
Hashtag
make it
content.
happen. Rockstar, have you ever used a pogo stick?
I think I have. When I say pogo stick in a film, do you think of any particular scene? I think of one scene immediately. When you said pogo stick, it makes me think of this one scene immediately from a film.
I don't recall something right off the top of my head.
Little girl on Tremors. the first appearance when she's just bouncing. They're like, and then the Tremor. Like, I don't know why. Every time I think of the movie Tremors, I think of that scene of that little girl bouncing on a pogo stick with the earthquaking.
Having to remember a pogo stick scene in Tremors, but I think you are correct.
Yeah.
It doesn't come to mind. How much of The Crown have you watched on Netflix, John? What percentage of The Crown?
I probably put it at like 1.2% of randomly walking in while my wife is watching it.
She like someone who's watched the entire series?
She's one of those that kind of...
Or she picked eras
she
was
kind
interested in?
of went through the drag of the older stuff so that she could get to Princess Diana eventually, but could kind of have the full picture of everything.
Okay.
I watched the first 2 episodes. I thought it was okay. I remember the old man was duck hunting or something like that. He started coughing blood, and I just didn't watch it. So I watched 1.5 episodes.
1.5 episodes. I don't know what percentage that would be, but 1.5 episodes is more than... I think I've maybe watched 3 episodes of The Crown. Tyler?
I've never seen The Crown.
Never seen it. Never started it. Got it. Next question.
I'd say 1.5 scenes for me.
Rockstar, have you ever visited the White House? And if not, would you want to?
I've never been to D.C.
Is that something you'd like to do?
I'd like to go to museums. It's not really the White House. I mean, like, that's like one of the last things I want to see is the White House, like Washington Monument, Lincoln Memorial. See that, but I don't know why I'm not intrigued by the White House. I don't know why.
You wouldn't like the movie Civil War. Let me ask you, John
What is it
Lunsford.
about?
There's a big White House scene.
Oh,
Have you ever been to the White House?
Well, I saw it 2 minutes.
I have been like up to the fence of the White House, if that counts. I haven't like been in the White House.
You haven't like taken a White House tour?
No, but I've been up to the fence. I've seen every memorial, monument, whatever, but it's just up to the fence. That's it. That's as close as I've been.
have you?
I have not.
I was saying,
My 6th grade class went. I did not go.
I don't think you can be anything but underwhelmed.
Probably.
I really don't think like
I don't feel like I've missed out because I've done. I mean, because you do want to go to like the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument and stuff like that. That you see the White House, you see the Capitol building, but like I don't care about necessarily going in. Yeah, Smithsonian. I've done all of that, and I don't feel like I've missed out by not going in the White House.
Tyler, you ever been to the White House?
I have not been to D.C. My 5th grade class went on a field trip to D.C. and I didn't go.
Same here with my 6th grade class.
I think if I were to go, I'd rather just go to the Smithsonian rather than see the White House and stuff.
We went to Montgomery and saw the governor's mansion.
No,
I did that.
I did that too.
That was fun as hell.
Yeah, it was.
So it's similar, I'm guessing.
Who was the governor when you went?
I think it was Guy Hunt.
Was it Guy Hunt?
I think so.
Mine was Don Siegelman. That turned out
And we
well.
did not meet the governor.
Yeah, we did meet the governor. So there's that. Okay,
Lucky.
next. I know. Next question. When was the last time, John, you paid for time on a parking meter?
It would be Chattanooga last year.
Chattanooga last year, parked on the street. Did you have to like do it through a mobile app or did you?
Well, no, it was. I guess it's not a meter. It was a machine you had to go up to and pay. I don't guess it counts as a meter.
No,
because
that would be like a kiosk.
I mean, you had to buy time and stuff like that. But
no, I guess I mean on the street parking meter. It's got a stand.
Downtown.
A decade ago?
No, a couple years ago.
Okay. Rocky?
It was 1.5 years or 2 years ago. I had to go to the courthouse to become a notary, and that's when I had to use a parking meter.
Honestly, the last one I can specifically remember the event I was going to. We randomly brought it up today about we had a party the night of the first show for the next round, and parked on the street there, and because it was just. What time did they cut it off? Like 5 or something like that?
After 5.
But it was just before that to where it's like, I feel like,
they'll get you
I got
too.
30 minutes or whatever. I got to pay for it. That's the last specific one I can remember. So that would have been 2.5 years ago.
By the way, Benjamin says in the chat, if I had to guess, to go to the Pinball Museum, John?
He is actually 1,000% correct.
Wow.
It's a cool place.
And where is this located again?
Downtown Chattanooga.
Downtown Chattanooga.
Now, I have done a lot of things down there, but the last trip, we go to Chattanooga usually once a year, and the last trip, I was like, there's a cool pinball museum down there. That is actually exactly where we went.
You can't top it. We rode Thomas the Train 2 weeks ago.
Don't care about that one.
Yeah.
They've got a movie cars museum in downtown Chattanooga, too.
I like that.
Yeah. And a true crime museum, too.
They have a movie cars museum in downtown Gatlinburg, too.
They do?
Are we sure we're not thinking of Gatlinburg compared to
I am
Chattanooga?
thinking of
'Cause I was
Gatlinburg.
gonna say,
I don't
I
ever
am
remember
thinking
seeing
of
that
Gatlinburg.
in
Oh, it's in
Chattanooga,
Gatlinburg.
but I wouldn't necessarily, but I do know the one in Gatlinburg.
Okay. We can get those confused. That's fine, Tyler. When was the last
Where's
time
the car museum? You going to take a left outside of the city?
Tyler, when was the last time you used a parking meter?
Last time I can remember was downtown Franklin, Tennessee, maybe 10 years ago.
So Tennessee pretty much across the board except for Rockstar.
That darn Tennessee.
2 for 3.
Next question. What grade, Tyler, kindergarten through 12th, do you feel like was the most transformative for you? Kindergarten through 12th, what grade do you feel like was the most transformative for you personally?
Transformative. Oh.
Optimus Prime.
I don't know, maybe 11th grade, 12th grade.
You seem inspired.
Just threw a dart.
The closer you got to getting out of there, basically, is what your answer is? Okay.
I guess.
Thank you for taking the question seriously. Rockstar, what grade, kindergarten through 12th, is the most transformative for you?
There's 2 years, polar opposites. Middle school, 6th grade was the most bullied and the most awful year. 8th grade was one of the most transformative because I started talking to girls. I was in a band. I could not talk. Like I could not physically talk to girls. 6th and 7th grade. Like I just couldn't do it. And I would avoid them. I would wear mesh shorts to school every day. 6th grade, I got my ass whooped a couple of times. But then 2 years later, I'm like, wow, I had my first girlfriend, I had my first kiss. I was in a band. I was having fun. Like it's amazing what 2 years did. So I would say polar opposite, 6th and 8th.
6th grade was Sean. 8th grade was Rockstar.
Yeah.
Rockstar was born.
Yeah.
So 7th grade must have been really, really tough.
7th
You're just
grade.
waiting on 8th grade to get
Yeah,
here.
7th grade was just hard. I remember just being so hard, like academically hard. Like this sucks.
Math takes a turn there.
Yeah.
John, what year?
Pinball museum. See,
Sort of.
That was a year ago.
Can people see that?
It's just
Maybe
one
they
machine.
can.
Can't really see it.
Just-
See, there's me. I can't really see. It's me playing pinball anyway.
We got it. John, what year most transformative for you, kindergarten through 12th?
It's transformative. Does that mean it has to be good or just
Just means
transformed
that
you?
you feel like looking back, it was a notable year of growth.
9th grade? I didn't do a single thing in 9th grade, and we were supposed to go to workouts every single day, and I did not. And I gained like 50 pounds just over the summer between
You literally transformed.
between 8th grade and 9th grade, and it was not a fun football year that year. I got back in shape in 10th grade, but going to high school, so transitioning to high school, all of that, it was moving to high school football, high school show choir, just high school in general. That has to be it.
I should have made this my last question.
And the seniors just seem so old. Like he's like, my God, those guys look like they're 40.
Even people who were only a year or two above me
Yeah.
in school back then, I see now, and I still think of them as like 10 years older
Yeah.
than me, even though I'm 37 and they're
He
38.
can grow a beard.
Boomer says 5th grade. I assume that's when
Oh.
he discovered alcohol.
No, and oh yeah, and 5th grade is when. That's another thing. When Nancy and I connected on was 5th grade was you do sex ed, almost like where the girls go in one room and the guys go in another room.
We did
and,
that in 6th grade.
And they teach you about venereal diseases and they show you pictures. And like I remember me and Nancy was like, we both connected. Like, I'm not doing this stuff. Like if that's what's gonna happen, like that was like if you have sex, this is gonna happen, guaranteed. It's just like, I'm out.
This is taking a turn. We're going to go with question number 10 here to end 10 with Tim. And here's the question. Tyler, if someone was to ask you what you collect and you had to provide an answer, what would your answer be? What is the thing you collect?
Supreme stuff. I have so much of it in my apartment.
You're literally wearing
from-
two different things right now from Supreme.
Yeah. I've got t-shirts, hoodies, hats. I've got some of the posters that they only have in the stores, like hung up around the stores. Got just all sorts of accessories and toys they've made.
Do you feel like it's
stickers.
a healthy addiction to have?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
So at least
but
you're willing to
you
admit
can
it.
resell it and make money. So
Have you done that?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Is it tough saying goodbye to some of the things you've collected? I assume so.
Sometimes, but then like you'll sell something for 4 times what it's worth or what you paid for it, and it's not that hard to let go of it after that.
I feel like Tyler's the type that would sell a dead bird to a blind child.
I just thought he was quiet.
Pretty bird.
Okay.
Just thought he was quiet.
John hates that movie.
I know.
So anytime I can
I
bring
know,
it up.
I know it's Dumb and Dumber, but yes.
I took care of it.
Rockstar, if someone was to ask you what you collect and you had to answer with an actual answer, what would your answer be?
I would say it used to be guitars, and then currently right now I am collecting Hot Wheels for my son because it is nonstop. Like, and I actually like enjoy, like, damn, that's a cool one. I wish I was a kid I could play with these, but like, he is obsessed with Hot Wheels. So we have so many Hot Wheels. They have to be specific. I can't just buy him a pickup truck. Like, he has to be like, I got him the GT Cruiser or something like that yesterday. Like, that's one of the biggest from the cartoon he watches. So it's just so cool to see him like going, oh, but he can't open it, so I have to open it in front of him like that. So Hot Wheels.
Are you sure it's not a badass PT Cruiser? Are you sure it was?
No, with wood paneling. I wish.
Yeah. I mean, that thing,
wish.
I thought that thing was a hot car when I first saw it, and then I realized that
You
it was
didn't.
not. I did. I thought the PT Cruiser was badass.
That was a convertible. What the
Yeah.
hell? Are you? You must be
Yeah.
a sultan.
I thought it was the suburban version of the Prowler. That's what I thought.
You don't see a lot of Prowlers.
You don't see a lot of Prowlers,
No.
but
My dad loved Prowler.
I loved Prowlers. Okay. John Lunsford, what do you collect if you had to pick one thing?
Pokemon cards. I have, if you've ever been in my office at home, and Tim has many times, I have so many boxes of Pokemon cards stacked up in my office.
Has
I
Lance
have,
seen them?
huh?
What does Lance play with? What's his name? Kishiro. What's the collector's guy's name? The trainer.
Who? Ash.
Ash.
That took me a second when he said Lance.
That took
yeah.
me forever to get there.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Lance looks just like Ash when he wears his blue. Because the thing, he wears the blue vest
With the red hat.
With the red hat,
and white
it's
hat.
exactly what Ash looks like. Pokemon cards, a little bit of sports cards, but yeah, I spend a lot of money on Pokemon cards. I've sold a lot of cards for money. I'm probably ultimately about even by the time it's all said and done. But I have a lot of Pokemon cards sitting in my
Tim?
office right now.
What do I collect?
Yeah.
Records right now.
Oh.
Records. Yeah, I collect records. Got a Blues Brother record last night. Really excited about that. Briefcase full of blues.
I like that.
Jammed out on it. Got me a new speaker. Connected it to one of my old speakers. It's got a great setup. You'll have to come check it out sometime.
Jam some tunes.
Bring over your Hot Wheels.
Nick said, "Are you sure it's not Chick-fil-A sauce?" Because I do have a stack of that in there.
You do.
But
That buffalo sauce, that mountain is growing.
that's
for
another
sure.
story. I blame Tyler.
Hey, if someone maybe out there, John, has been collecting more pounds than they'd like to, they should visit our friends at Way to Wellness.
They should. Go to aplanforme.com and learn more about our friends at Way to Wellness. You see Tim weighing in here and me weighing in as well. Heading back this week in a couple of days to see where we are post my surgery and see the poundage that we've dropped. You can see how happy we are. There's Leslie in the background. Go to aplanforme.com. She'll get you on the same plan that I'm on, that Tim is on, that Jim is on, my dad is on. They have the plan that gets you on the right track so that you can lose weight and do it the right way. Visit aplanforme.com. Learn more about our friends at Way to Wellness.
Okay, we've got some major news headlines to get to when it comes to what Amazon had to talk about today as they continue to remain a force in the entertainment world, producing all kinds of stuff. They've announced today that there will be a sequel to Amazon's Roadhouse movie. It is in the works officially. Jake Gyllenhaal will be reprising his leading role as Dalton. Now, I am the only one here that has seen the Roadhouse remake. Tyler, you are a Prime member. Why have you not yet watched Roadhouse on Prime Video?
Well, you told me to watch The Boys, and those episodes are an hour long. I've been working my way through that.
Be honest, though. You had about 2 months before I gave you the boys assignment to watch Roadhouse, and you decided not to, and that's the answer I'm looking for. And it's not, why did you break my heart? It's, why did you actively choose, this is not a movie I am interested in?
I'll probably watch it before the end of the year just
Okay,
to have it on my
sold.
list. But
Tim, why did you and
Just-
Tyler? Why don't you guys talk anymore? You wouldn't watch Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Oh, Patrick's like, no, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, the Jake
okay,
Gyllenhaal one.
cool.
No, I was just curious because it is available to you. You actively have decided not to watch it. John, I feel like you have actively decided not to watch it because you think it's trash.
I think it's stupid. I have had Prime for a while, and I have not watched a single second of The Boys, nor have I watched a single second of Roadhouse, and I will continue to keep it that way.
Amazon MGM studio chief Jennifer Salke said on stage at the Pier 36 venue in New York City, quote, "As we saw this spring, the world went crazy for a little movie called Roadhouse.
I don't know. I'd say that.
Nearly 8 million viewers globally have watched Roadhouse.
That's a lot.
That's it?
We like to watch these results like a baby.
Hold on. 8 million?
I think I messed that up. I think it's 80 million. 80 million. Sorry.
Woo.
I left a zero off.
Thought Rebel Moon was bad.
Per
Thanks.
Amazon MGM Studios, the first Roadhouse film has attracted nearly 80 million worldwide viewers to date. I left a 0 off. Thank you for catching that. The film premiered on Prime Video March 21st and attracted a record-breaking over 50 million worldwide viewers over its first 2 weekends.
The next round has more than that.
So does this one be released in the theater? Is it the same director?
I don't think it will be released
Will he
in
be
the
just as
theater.
I was about to say if it's the same director.
I don't think they'll be bringing back the same director. If I had to guess, this is the end of the road for that working relationship.
Tear down the damn house.
But it worked in generating a lot of views. Now, John, there's some gray area as to what should be counted as a view. Because I'm sure Amazon counts anytime it's clicked on as it being a view compared to people who have watched the whole thing. And I don't know how long they have to actually watch something on Amazon for it to count as a view. Plus these numbers they control, and everything can be skewed.
I mean, let me tell you what counts as a view. Okay, here's my Twitter account.
Huh?
I just viewed the Meltdown. That's what it is.
Oh, really?
I just scroll past it. That's what counts as a view.
Gosh, keep doing that. That's good stuff.
The Meltdown happened to be the
Put a
last
hamster on that thing.
because I retweeted it before we started. But that's literally what counts as a view on things. I just literally scrolled past it, and it existed on my timeline in a visual form where I could see it. It counts as a view. So I'm sure Prime has done this. I'm sure Prime, just because I've scrolled past, or on Netflix or whatever, I scroll past and watch the trailer of it. It's like, I mean, he watched.
I guarantee that's what I was going to say.
3 minutes of the movie.
If you
there.
hover on it, starts
if you
playing.
scroll over it and they start a trailer, I guarantee they consider that a view because we had his interest. He watched the trailer.
Yep.
Well, they are very proud of this, and a sequel has officially been put into production. So, there's another movie out from Amazon Prime. It's a movie that only John has seen called The Idea of You. It's Anne Hathaway and Nicholas Galitzin's age gap romance adventure that they say attracted nearly 50 million worldwide viewers in its first 2 weeks on Prime Video, becoming Amazon MGM's #1 romantic comedy debut of all time. Which I'm thinking, how many romantic comedies have they done? And if there is a second one, how bad does it make them feel that they have basically been told?
Beats me. This one got a lot of buzz because it was based off Harry Styles fan fiction, so all the people that are obsessed with Harry Styles watched it, and it wasn't very good.
Julie Rappaport, head of film production and development at Amazon MGM Studios, said, quote, "The extraordinary reception of The Idea of You has been thrilling, even leading up to the release, with its record-breaking trailer views to its chart-topping soundtrack. And now audiences have truly fallen for this film, and we could not be prouder of our stars, Anne Hathaway and Nicholas Galitzin, the brilliant vision of Michael Showalter, and the rest of the enormously talented cast and filmmaking team who made this such a smashing success."
Michael Showalter, great in The State. One of my favorite shows of all time.
I like Michael Showalter, but this movie just wasn't it.
Is the soundtrack something that has a lot of hits on it? I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I haven't listened to the
It's
soundtrack.
about a made-up One Direction, basically, that like they come up with music. I don't know if that's
original music.
There's really not full songs from this band. I mean, it's just a bunch of actors. I don't know. It's not very good.
Speaking of Amazon Prime movies, Reese Witherspoon and Will Ferrell are teaming up, set to get foul-mouthed and crazy in Amazon Prime Video's R-rated wedding comedy, You're Cordially Invited, which is directed by Neighbors filmmaker Nicholas Stoller. Everyone here has seen the preview for this movie, You're Cordially Invited. Tyler, what was your takeaway from the trailer for that film with Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon?
Now that you mentioned the director, very similar feel to Neighbors.
I thought Neighbors was pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed Neighbors. I'll watch this. I always like Will Ferrell movies, and it looks like it'll be fun.
It's funny they didn't. He also did Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I'm surprised they didn't put that in there.
That is a great.
That would be a
Everybody
much better
forgets about
choice
Sarah Marshall.
to market your movie.
Probably so. Rockstar,
Yeah.
what did you think of this trailer with
The
these two leads?
The first thing I saw when they go up to the counter and see their weddings are double booked or whatever it was, Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon could not get along on 4 Christmases because he loves to do improv. She wants it in the script. I can't imagine working with Will Ferrell that he is not going to stick to the script. So I'm sure that this was a nightmare for her because her and Vince Vaughn could not get along. Because like, let's just make it up as we go. We got the skeleton, and she's like, no, I want it written for me. And like, Will Ferrell is by far nobody's going to go by the script. So
She's a film actress, and
Right.
they are comedians at in their heart. And you're right; those two styles can definitely clash.
But yeah, it looks funny. Like Will Ferrell's starting to age. It's sad. Like, I mean, like you can tell he's starting to age. She looks great for him. Like, she's a great producer now. She's producing all this stuff. So I like to see her, but I think it'd be all right. It looks like more like a funny, hour 15 movie.
John, I'm going to get your take on it here in just a second. I do want to tell everybody who does not know what this is. It's about a woman played by Reese Witherspoon planning her sister's perfect wedding, and the father, Will Ferrell, of a young bride-to-be finds out that they are double booked for their destination wedding at a remote resort on an island off the Carolina coast. When both parties decide to share the small venue, chaos ensues, and the cast of characters begin to face their own insecurities, learning more about themselves. Your Cordially Invited arrives on January 30th of 2025 to Prime Video. What did you make of this trailer, John?
So the entire time I sat there trying to think, are they related? Or are they related, or are they married, or maybe they're exes or something? Because they are together in every single scene, and it seems like, I'm going to tell you, at the end of this movie, they're going to end up together.
It seems that way.
That it seems a little predictable. Also, what goes into weddings, and 3 of us have gone through this so far, there is zero chance that something like this would ever happen. With as much goes into
Not
this,
with Jack McBrayer in charge,
and the planning,
who plays
it's like
Jack McBrayer in everything.
How on earth did they? I mean, they double booked every room. They double booked the pier that they're going to get married on. It's like there's so much, and the names are. It's like this is. I don't know.
Maybe they'll explain.
This is coming from a guy that watched Godzilla vs. Kong.
Because I want to watch
and
stuff
wanted
blow up.
less humans in it.
Period. End of story. I want to watch stuff blow up. If they start blowing stuff up on this, and I'll be like, yeah, right.
Looks
on.
like a pier blows up or a dock.
It is. There's a scene with Will Ferrell and an alligator that is, I think, really
straight
funny.
out of Roadhouse.
I think it's really funny, but anyway, that is going to be happening on Prime Video. Let's go into the television realm here. Phoebe Waller-Bridge's Tomb Raider series has been ordered 2 series at Amazon's Prime Video. The Fleabag creator will write and executive produce the show based on the iconic Tomb Raider video game franchise, which follows the adventures of archaeologist and adventurer Lara Croft. Were you ever into the Tomb Raider games, John?
I wasn't into the games. I got into the Angelina Jolie movies.
What was the other girl?
Transformative years right there, probably.
Yes, Alicia Vikander. I have actually not seen that one yet. I like Alicia Vikander, but I have not seen that movie because I don't really care about Tomb Raider in general. It was a transformative time that Angelina Jolie came in. Daniel Craig also in those movies as well. That it just, and John Voight. It's just, I don't know. Those movies were good, but outside of that, I don't really care about Tomb Raider.
Rockstar, you may remember that Phoebe Waller-Bridge was seen recently in the latest Indiana Jones movie, otherwise referred to as The Dial of Destiny, which is a movie I know that you looked very forward to seeing.
I did, and I tapped out 45 minutes in.
Indiana Jones on the, woof, I'm done.
Lost a lot of money for Disney. Now she's on to Amazon, and she says that she's super excited about this. She said, quote, if I could tell my teenage self this was happening, I think she'd explode. Tomb Raider has been a huge part of my life, and I feel incredibly privileged to bring it to television with such passionate collaborators. Lara Croft means a lot to me, as she does to many, and I can't wait to get to this adventure, bats and all. So,
Trying to think.
Has anybody watched Fleabag?
No. I have not.
It won every award in the book the year that it came out, and then I think it had maybe 2 seasons, but one of the seasons it won every single award in the book, and I've never gotten to it. I think it's a Prime show as well. I think she has a thing with Prime.
This series is being developed under a pact with the studio to be able to develop additional Tomb Raider stories into series and films. Are you a fan of the IP, Tyler? You like the Tomb Raider games?
Yeah, I was a big fan when Square Enix rebooted it back in, I guess that would have been 2013-ish, 2014, with the Crystal Dynamics
kind of a more
games.
realistic take on the Tomb Raider franchise.
Yeah, and I had played a little bit of the old PS1 Tomb Raider games. I had seen the Angelina Jolie movies. I haven't seen the one with the Alicia Vikander, though. I need to watch that one. But, I'll gladly watch this. I love Tomb Raider.
It'll be right there on all the things you're choosing over Roadhouse. Amazon MGM Studios chief Jennifer Salke said Phoebe has a lifelong love affair with Lara Croft, and as soon and very soon we'll start the worldwide search for who will play the iconic role, and I just can't wait. Anybody jump off the page to you as someone who should play Lara Croft in this television series? That
Aubrey
would be
Plaza.
a perfect fit. I don't think that's good.
Like I'm like,
don't think
I
that
guess
choice
it's a
would work.
tomb or something. I guess I don't know. You look.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I think Alicia Vikander looks like Lara Croft in the rebooted games.
And we're like
but
gonna
I
do
don't
like
know
a-
which.
Are they doing like a younger
one they're
version
gonna
of
go
her, or
with it.
like I don't know.
The two did look like the various versions. Like I feel like Angelina Jolie very much looked like the triangle version of her, and then Alicia Vikander very much looked like the current version of her.
You don't think like Anya Taylor-Joy would be a good fit here? Don't
Melissa
think that could
McCarthy.
work?
For Tim's suggestion, maybe. I honestly don't know.
let's make it work.
Every one of Rocky's suggestions, maybe more entertaining that way.
More television on Prime. Lord of the Rings. It's been confirmed that Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power Season 2 will premiere August 29th on Amazon Prime Video. Anybody going to be watching this?
I will.
still got to finish the first one.
We watched. That's when this came out. Was it 2022?
I think so.
That's when Cord was born. We had him like when we get short little naps and we'd watch The Rings of Power because I think that was still kind of like a COVID thing.
That sounds right.
Because it was still kind of COVID going on or something like that. But I remember, and everybody saying like each episode was over $1 million or something like that, or was one of the $1 billion to do this series, the first season, and it was good. But I mean, like if you ask me a question about it now, I do not think I can remember
It
anything.
was billed as probably the most expensive
Yes.
television series of all time to produce.
and people were upset like the CGI is awful for this being $1 billion. The CGI is terrible, but I mean it was an alright show.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith has been renewed for Season 2 at Amazon Prime Video. Did anybody watch Season 1?
I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes. It had promise, but it was a little too slow.
There are rumors going around that Donald Glover and Maya Erskine will not be returning into the title roles.
It had randomly Alexander Skarsgård and somebody else big, like in the first 5 minutes of it, that they were Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and then it transitions to Donald Glover and this other girl. It would be interesting if they went back that route to see how they would act.
This may be the most exciting news to come out of the Amazon event for me. Jeopardy is getting a spin-off on Amazon Prime Video that's going to be titled Pop Culture Jeopardy.
Oh,
It's about Sports Jeopardy. You know every single question.
The game show will focus on music, film, television, stage, sports, and more. Episodes will premiere on Prime Video across the globe. There's no host yet for Pop Culture Jeopardy, but the show will be executive produced by Jeopardy EP Michael Davies. Besides Sports Jeopardy, past Jeopardy offshoots include Rock and Roll Jeopardy, which ran on VH1 from 1998 to 2001.
Mark McGrath was a beast from Sugar Ray. That guy knows so much music trivia.
Really?
Yeah, he was one of the, he'd buzz in like God, Mark McGrath knows everything.
There was a show called Jep, which I do not remember.
Nope.
It was a children's version that
Yeah,
appeared
I
on Game
vaguely
Show
remember
Network
that.
from 1998 to 2000. Jep, you remember Jep?
I vaguely remember that.
The original daytime Jeopardy launched in 1964, and the modern syndicated version premiered in 1984. In recent years, the series has also spawned several primetime iterations, including The Greatest of All Time, National College Championship, Celebrity Jeopardy, and the one I've been watching here lately, Jeopardy Masters, which has been coming on Sunday nights, I believe. So, Jeopardy, Pop Culture Jeopardy. Is this something, John, that you would rather sit back and watch and binge, or something that you would like to actually compete on?
I would love to actually compete on it.
Well, who knows?
You're getting practice tomorrow.
We got Triple Threat Trivia, which is
Maybe.
a great primer to get you there. So, who knows? Maybe we can one day put up our champion into Pop Culture Jeopardy. Nicolas Cage officially set to bring Spider-Man Noir back to life in Prime Video, and MGM Plus's new live action series Noir. Vernon Sanders, head of television for Amazon MGM Studios, said expanding the Marvel Universe with Noir is uniquely special opportunity, as we are honored to bring this series to our global Prime Video customers. The extremely talented Nicolas Cage is an ideal choice for our new superhero, and the accomplished producing team with Phil Lord, Christopher Miller, Amy Pascal, and the incredible team at Sony that's dedicated to expanding this franchise in the most authentic way. You may remember that Nicolas Cage has already played this character in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and he is now going to be a part of the live-action version of this. Do you think that's going to work live-action, John?
I don't think so. I mean, it has all the exact same people behind it, because Lord Miller did the Spider-Verse movies too, but I don't know that a live-action version of this will work. And he's a little old to be playing any kind of Spider-Man.
Nicolas Cage loves superhero cinema. He was originally set to play Superman under Tim Burton in that movie that got scrapped. He played... Who was the role he played in Kick-Ass? He played the dad character,
Big Daddy.
He's Ghost Rider, man.
which is sort of a low...
And Ghost Rider.
He's Ghost Rider too. Yep. He loves superhero cinema, so he obviously is not only not going to turn down this project, but probably not going to turn down many projects. Nicolas Cage likes to do a lot of movies.
Yeah,
Tyler, is this something you're excited for? You think it's going to work?
I would honestly prefer them doing it in like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit animation and live action style than a strictly live action.
That actually would be a lot of fun, but we'll see if this one maybe finds the right creative balance and tone. And then finally, The Boys, which is a show John refuses to watch, has been renewed for season 5 at Amazon Prime Video, ahead of the show's 4th season, which premieres on June 13th. Tyler, we talked about this yesterday. You're working your way through this series. It is now set to have a season 5, even though we have not yet seen season 4. I assume you're pretty happy about this because you've been hot and heavy into The Boys here for the past couple of days.
Oh yeah, this will be great. I'd like to have a break on The Boys.
Oh, okay. All right, well, watch Roadhouse. That would be my recommendation. Yeah. Just swap over and watch Roadhouse.
Announcing another 8 episodes before I've even finished season 3.
Yeah. Superheroes, it seems like
it's great, though.
They're working for Amazon, even though they may not be working at the Cineplex, which leads us into Lunce's list.
I can't believe you didn't bring up the biggest announcement from the Amazon.
What was the biggest announcement?
A Legally Blonde prequel series.
Oh, no, I didn't. Did you get a text message about that?
I did, and went and looked at it, and Reese Witherspoon came out, and they're up front and did a whole thing about, now, there's no way she can be in it.
Yeah.
But, I mean.
Legally?
I like those movies, okay? It may be worth watching.
I guess I was saving it for later in the week, but I figured that you'd have a little birdie that was like,
you also didn't mention
chirp.
Travis Kelce's new show either.
Gosh, I guess I'm leaving out a segment of our audience. John, would you like to, is there anything else you'd like to mention from the Amazon event? What is this Travis Kelce thing? Travis Kelce is hosting a game show called Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity? It's a spinoff of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Prime also bought New Heights, their podcast that he does with Jason. And then there's also the Mr. Beast show that they previewed. I'm sorry, I'll stop. No, you're fine.
What's the Mr. Beast show?
We've talked about this show before.
Yeah, we've talked about it. They just officially did a whole bit, and they had like $5 million sitting in like a box to show what $5 million look like and everything. Anyway, that's the stuff I'm looking forward to. Awesome. Superhero cinema may be exactly what is needed to save the box office, but lately the caped and cowled offerings that have been offered have been pretty weak, and audiences are looking for a hero to bet their buck on. But which 5 future films have the potential to be all-timers if they meet the expectations for John? It's time to find out now on another edition of Lunce's List.
What is this? What is this? Lunce's List, Lunce's List, oh. What is this? What is this? Lunce's List, Lunce's List, oh. Lunce's List to 5. Lunce's List to 5. Lunce's List to 5. Lunce's List to 5.
All right, John, of all the superhero cinema that's been announced as being in future production, pre-production, current production, or post-production, I want you to name the 5 that you personally want to see the most.
I don't really have it set up for this. Let's just go into it.
All right.
I don't really have a full setup into this, but I mean, we know it has to be something that exists. It can't just be like, I did my 5 verses and I had like Thanos versus Darkseid, which, hey, Max and Disney are going together. So Warner Brothers and Disney could maybe make my Marvel DC massive crossover happen one day, but that doesn't exist. This is stuff that actually has been announced, that is in production, at least has been talked about and officially made verbal or written down on paper in front of people.
That is correct.
Go for it.
So, yes.
Okay. John is approaching the big board, and we are going to see what he comes up with as the 5 most anticipated superhero film projects that he wants to see. There's one movie that I will be shocked if it makes the list that's been getting a lot of buzz here recently. At number 5...
The Batman Part 2.
This is the Robert Pattinson Batman.
Do they do his
Reeves.
They do his origins here?
It will not be an origin
Damn it.
film. Yeah. It picked up in year 2.
Doesn't matter. You can still have flashbacks.
That's one of the things I liked about the Batman Part 1 is that it didn't do that. We'll have to get, it got delayed, so we'll have to let the Penguin, tide us over for a little bit. But, I'll just go ahead and say it from the start. The DCU is pure garbage to me, and it will not work in my opinion. Therefore, when it comes to DC, this is what I'm looking forward to. They have done good with Batman. They have done good with Joker. That is what they have always done good with, is good single entries into superhero cinema. That's what they need to keep doing. what is this called? The DC Elseworlds or whatever they called it. I don't remember.
I think it's DCU and then DC Elseworlds is like an offshoot of that that'll include the stuff that's not the main canon.
AKA stuff that actually works. So I'm gonna go with the Batman Part 2.
Something in the way.
I think if you go back and you rewatch that movie, is it used tonally in heightened parts? Yes, but it's not played throughout the whole film like you pretend that it is.
I would say it's probably played about 4 times.
I'm going to take the under.
Three times too much.
I'm going to take the under.
And the bootstraps of
under 4.
Under 4.
I'd probably
I'm going to say twice. I'm going to say it's played twice.
I'm going to say 3
in significant ways.
Okay,
but do you count it lingering in the background and then popping back up as being a separate time?
Yes, because if you pull the volume down, like
well,
there's
then
dialogue.
I would say 3.
And if he has dialogue, like and then he walks off, then they pull it back up. Something, and that's
it
2.
lingers though. It lingers underneath. Anyway, we won't get into the sound design for the Batman here, but I look forward to rewatching that in maybe an AMC Prime theater with you, where we get the full-on sound system approach to it.
Yeah, again, I love the song. I thought it was a great idea. Just don't overuse it.
All I can imagine is he's sitting like 2 rows in front of you, and it's like
we have a clicker that every time it's on there, click.
You know, like in a baseball game, you hang a K over every time it's a strikeout. It's just like there's 1, there's 2.
It's only technically under your pretense. I think it's 3 times in the movie it happens.
Okay,
let's go with number 4, which is how many times a rock star thinks that song is played within the Batman. But it is a big motivation for that movie. That was what Matt Reeves wrote the script to, was that song from Nirvana. And
again, it's a great song. I just think it was overused.
Perfectly fair.
It's like Highway to the Danger song. If they play that every single scene in Top Gun, I was like, this is getting kind of old. But no, it's a great song. Okay, I get it.
I thought it worked.
Spider-Man 4, Mal.
I wrote MCU because there's multiple Spider-Men.
It did look like MW.
Yeah. Looks like
I did write together kind of like a W.
That looks like what you would use for the symbol to describe Miranda Taint.
Okay.
You just keep trying to get the chat back on you.
I'm giving the chat.
Number 3 on the list.
Won't even make me a T-shirt for it.
Anyway.
That wasn't supposed to be uncomfortable. That was supposed to be funny.
Is this the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man?
No, that's why I wrote MCU. Now, he could potentially be in it because he was in the 3rd one. But they have said there will be a next part. I don't really know what to call it other than Spider-Man 4, a No Way Home sequel, whatever you want to call it. That there will be another one of those involved within the MCU, and they have not set a date. I think that said shooting is supposed to happen later this year for it, but this is one of those that I'm curious. So our introduction to Spider-Man, because we never got the origin story for this Spider-Man, was in Captain America Civil War. That's where we first saw him, and basically we just went forward with it from that point. With Avengers movies on the slate, many team-up movies on the slate, moving forward, I don't know when we'll get the answer to what happened at the end of No Way Home, because at the end of No Way Home, it left off on a certain angle. Can I go ahead and say what happened in that? Is it long enough?
You have no idea how spoiler commentary works, but you're perfectly
scared.
good.
I'm scared because I spoil things so many times.
You're good there.
At the end of No Way Home, nobody knows who Spider-Man is, and so it's like, where does that play off? Because Zendaya doesn't know who he is. Ned, who I don't remember his name, but you just saw a movie.
Batalon.
There you go. He's starting to pop up in a bunch of random stuff because he's probably riding this as hard as he can.
Tarot.
Yeah, like Tarot.
He's also on some random vampire show on TV that I keep seeing commercials for. But my thing is, by the time this comes out, let's say it comes out before Avengers 5, which is 26, 27, I think they're the 2 Avengers dates. That's still potentially a year or 2 later. Like, where is Zendaya's stardom? Where is Tom Holland's stardom? Now Zendaya's is higher, but where's their stardom to be the main 2 people in this franchise? That I'm just curious how this ultimately will work, but I am curious to get a resolution to this, because this is a massive superhero that literally has this, an animated series, the Sony Spider-Man universe, kind of sort of, even though he's not a part of it.
The Sony Spider-Verse.
That's what's the animated with the animated.
Oh, my bad.
Then, there's talk even of potentially going back to what Sam Raimi did with his Spider-Man. And, of course, all the Spider-Man were in the last one. So there's ways you could offshoot literally a million different ways from Spider-Man. But strictly the MCU actual like Spider-Man movie, that's what I'm curious to see.
All right.
Take some explaining. Sorry.
No, you're good. I hope it happens for sure. I hope it happens. Let's go to number 3 on Lunce's list. These are the 5 superhero movies that John is looking most forward to seeing that also could be looked at as saviors of superhero cinema. It's kind of a dual list here because there are some hits that are needed after an atrocity like what we got this past Valentine's Day with Madam Web. Move
You're
on to
actually
number 3.
looking forward to this? Yes. Wow. Okay.
Fantastic Four.
I've just never
This time it's
met
gonna work.
anybody who's like a big Fantastic Four person, you know?
I mean, there's a lot of things that I wouldn't said, whoa, I'm a giant fan of this, but the actors that are cast in it, I'm a fan of. How it ultimately... Here's the thing with the MCU. There's certain films that you're going to have to nail, and it starts this summer. But there's other movies you're going to have to nail in order to ultimately get the thing back right. And I think Fantastic Four, depending on Deadpool, could even be even more of a necessity to absolutely nail because you've gotten star power in it. And Fantastic Four ultimately is, because they've already announced it's going to have Galactus in it. So that could ultimately be like the big bad of all the big bads that have ever existed, to where you got to get that right because they did not get it right in this Rise of the Silver Surfer. You got to get Silver Surfer right, which I don't know if they will, but they're going with the female Silver Surfer in this. There's a million things that could go wrong, but that also means there's a million things that could go right with Fantastic Four. And here's the biggest reason I would look forward to this. There needs to be something to replace Guardians of the Galaxy as like your good kind of off the beaten path team up movie that they can come in, but they can carry themselves as well. And Guardians of the Galaxy had a really good cast in it. This has a really good cast in it that if they make it work, it could explode and be really big.
So many unknowns about your number 3 spot here, and having those questions answered, I'm sure, is why it has piqued your interest. But it is definitely a film that they have to get right. It's going to be one of the cornerstones of the future of the MCU. And if it is going to remain a franchise that puts out billion-dollar hit after billion-dollar hit, it is going to have a strong Fantastic Four, something, Tyler, we've never experienced before in film, to your point. Fantastic Four has never been a series that has been looked at as having quality associated with it.
Correct. Never liked the, was it 2004, 2005, around then when that came out with Jessica Alba.
I thought the first one was okay.
And I definitely didn't like Rise of the Silver Surfer, and then I never saw the one with Michael B. Jordan.
You're not
as
missing
Human
much.
Torch.
You're not missing much there, but Pedro Pascal, his star is exploding right now. I like Vanessa Kirby, Eddie, to throw in another Eddie mention in there. And then with Joseph Quinn, who's been casting everything, Gladiator, Quiet Place, and this. And then Cousin, I can't ever say his name right, but Cousin from The Bear being the Thing. It's got 4 people in it. Ralph Ineson is playing the voice of Galactus. I think it's good casting from a voice perspective. So there's a lot of things you could get right, but once again, there's a lot of things you could get wrong. The intrigue of it and the little nuggets we've had so far have me very much looking forward to it.
There we have it with Fantastic Four, surprisingly, not in the 4 spot, but in the 3 spot.
That is fantastic.
Spider-Man 4 was in the 4th spot.
Let's go to number 2.
Batman
on
Part 2 was number 5.
Lunce's list.
A lot of numbers in this one. Yeah, do different color.
Oh, yeah. I fully expected this one to pop up. Beyond the Spider-Verse. We were supposed
Beyond
to,
the
we,
Spider-Verse.
we were supposed to get it 2 weeks ago.
Yep. It was already supposed to have come out. It has been delayed. I mentioned the Spider-Man Noir with Nick Cage, Lord Miller. I think Nick Cage is supposed to come back and have a decent role in this one as well. And John Mulaney and everybody from the original one. But I'm fine delaying it to make sure it's done right. The first 2 have been absolute grand slams to me. It has a chance to be the best trilogy ever to me. It already, Into the Spider-Verse is already the best superhero movie to me. And if it's done right, fine, delay it as long as you need to make sure it's done right. It has been delayed. It's hit production snags. It apparently is a very hard thing to work on, and seeing the animation you can understand. But I've made my thoughts on the Spider-Verse movies very clear, so therefore it is very high on this list. This is a number 3 at number 2.
Have you seen any of the Spider-Verse movies, Rockstar?
I have. The only thing I've seen was that short y'all showed me about anxiety and depression and stuff. So
The Spider Within.
yeah, that's the only
Did
thing.
you like it?
That was all right. I don't know if I could do a full movie like with that animation. I don't know if I'm ready for that yet.
Tyler,
I think they're on Netflix if you want to watch them.
you're going to be there opening night for this one?
Oh, definitely. I love the Spider-Verse movies, and it could easily become one of the greatest trilogies ever made, I think.
That's really not
It's
wrong
hard
at
to
all.
say
'Cause
for an
the-
animated movie.
Yeah,
That's
Not
how
wrong
good it
to
is.
say.
the first 2 movies are just about perfect.
Any honorable mentions before we get to number 1?
Honorable mentions, Blade. I don't have a lot of faith in this,
Yeah.
but I like Mahershala Ali. It has hit, seems like every production issue under the sun, but
Yes.
I like the original ones. Okay. I like Mahershala Ali, so I am interested in it. Thunderbolts, not totally sold on this, but it's another team-up movie that could maybe potentially take the Guardians spot of that other team-up. I know they'll ultimately probably be involved with the Avengers, but that's like Florence Pugh's Black Widow character, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, U.S. Agent, dude from Stranger Things, David Harbour, his like Russian version of Captain America, all that kind of stuff is going to be in it. Captain America itself, I'm not sold on Harrison Ford being a Hulk, but we'll see. And then number 1 is not Deadpool. Deadpool is an honorable mention. I'm looking forward to it, but Deadpool I don't care about as much. Really, Logan's the only one from the X-Men that I really care about, but if it's going to help set up more X-Men in general, that's cool. They need to be a part of it. Obviously, you've bought the rights to all of them, but I've never been a giant X-Men guy. So that's why it's not on the list. But it'd probably be number 6.
And I feel like if Deadpool and Wolverine maybe wasn't coming out so quickly, it would have been in more consideration. If it was,
That's
if
what
we
I
had
said.
done this list a year ago, it would have been definitely on there.
Because now we've seen essentially kind of sort of what it will be. And like, it's like, I'm looking forward to it. Don't get me wrong. All the ones I've listed, I'm looking forward to. But if you're talking about big picture, if Deadpool is right, it makes Fantastic Four, okay, how's that perceived if it crashes or burns, or if it's really good to make it even better. And then same with Spider-Man 4, because I guess those are the only MCU ones I've said so far.
Number 1 can only be one answer. There can only be one answer here.
Is it Secret Wars?
It's going to have to be MCU. It's going to have to be the big picture MCU stuff. 0% chance he goes with
there
Superman.
it is. Yep. Something / Secret Wars. Oh, Avengers 5. Because they got to get rid of the Kang Dynasty title.
Even though Kang may still be a part of the future of the Avengers. Gosh.
Or was that Krang?
That was
That's
Krang.
I know.
I included this all as one because ultimately it'll end up being an Infinity War Endgame Part 1, Part 2, essentially. We don't know what Avengers 5 will be. They are not calling it the Kang Dynasty anymore. It's just kind of floating out there as like, we're still going to do an Avengers movie, but we do know Secret Wars. This is the easy choice because no matter what you think about all the other Marvel movies that are out there, you ultimately think about Infinity War Endgame and how the whole thing ended and how great that was to ultimately land the plane really well. So yeah, it has to be Secret Wars, but I'm kind of including both of these as a Part 1, Part 2.
No argument here. I don't know what else to say. Marvel big picture has to matter again, and it hasn't for a long time.
I think I would see 4 of those movies. I have no interest in Fantastic Four. No interest.
Well, if they can convert you, then that means it was a huge win then.
That's fantastic.
I do think, like, if you had not seen Guardians going into Infinity War Endgame, it'd have been a little weird because, like, Groot and Rocket helping Thor get his weapon, the Guardians rescuing Thor to begin with. The final one has Nebula saving Tony Stark and Rocket's there, and so it's of the few people left, Guardians make up a couple of them that it would have been kind of weird. And I assume Fantastic Four will be the same way ultimately when it comes to the Avengers movies.
So there we have it at number 5, The Batman Part 2. At number 4, Spider-Man 4, which will be not the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4.
I guess you can say the No Way Home sequel because
But
there's really nothing else to call it.
The Tom Holland Spider-Man. At number 3, Fantastic Four. At number 2, Beyond the Spider-Verse, which should be out in some alternate reality. It already is. And at number 1, Avengers 5/Secret Wars. That is going to do it for Lunce's list. But that does not have to conclude your fun for the day because, John, there's a great place to go. It's our title sponsor, MyBookie.
Go to mybookie.ag. You see it right there. Promo code next round, mybookie.ag. Get a first deposit bonus on us when you go there and make that first deposit. You get a little bit extra to sprinkle on the NHL playoffs, the NBA playoffs, Major League Baseball regular season, college football coming up. You can bet on a bunch of futures there. In the new landscape of college football, you can also play in the casino, play the slots, play the live casino with actual dealers there. You can play in that. You can do all kinds of stuff. Go to mybookie.ag, promo code next round.
Yes, we have a new retro trailer reaction for your enjoyment. The Skeleton Key from 2005. It is up and live right now here on the channel. If you'd like to continue the conversation there, we would love for you to go check out that video. Make sure you're subscribed right here to The Meltdown. Stay up to date on all the latest with pop culture and entertainment news, as we have for you tomorrow a triple threat trivia number 1 contenders match. Jim Dunaway will be entering the arena. You won't want to miss it, live right here, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern.